Greetings. Well, all right. So the Greater Israel Project and the Likud Party and AIPAC and the evil that has captured much of the Western world and is happy to lie about torture and conduct a genocide. One of the things they're doing now, so I saw a speech today, I don't know where it was Netanyahu. I didn't have much time. That's the thing. Media just hits me like it does everyone else. So you don't have a lot of time. You pick up your phone, and there's Netanyahu making a speech about how if the Americans don't just love and support and do everything, give all their money to Israel, they're going to suffer. They're going to be cursed. It's not going to be nice. And, he was just lying, just straight lying, talking about how great it is to be Christian in modern day Israel, how great the Zionist Likud party type fake Jews are to Christians, that they're really nice to Christians. That's sad. That's sad that he would make that speech in the first place, because what that means is that he thinks a lot of you out there are idiots, are still ideologically controlled dupes with not much exposure to world media. So then you would have no idea what's really going on, right? He brought up how, look, in Hebron, it's perfect. That's, the Jews just treat the Christians so nice. Now, the only reason Christians are having problems now is because of these recently arrived Arab, dirty Arab, Palestinian types, Islamics, Islamicists that are just too super evil to the Christians that are there, which is a lie. The whole thing is a lie. Christians, real Jews, and Islamic folks, Muslims, they've been living together in peace, mostly, for a long time in the Levant, okay? All around, south of Turkey, Syria, Palestine, okay, no problem. Flare-ups every now and then, little things happen. There was this horrible thing called the Crusades, one might remember, maybe started by Christians on behalf of, I don't know what that was. The Crusades, right? Horrible, bad, we're looking back, we're seeing Christians fighting Islam and to help make clear a free path to the Holy Land for the Christians to get to the Holy Land. A lot of things happened with those Crusades, and those ended up turning into the church doctrine and brutal enslavement of Native Americans here on the New World. Unfortunately, the church doctrine that came out of the Crusades. But anyway, so now here we are, modern day, Europe, America, Israel, the Levant. And there's been this thing called World War II, okay, and the Nazis were, evil. We all agree. My grandfather fought against the Nazis, and we were all super proud of him in Patton's army. So fighting Nazis, there's just no ambiguity. Like, they're Nazis, my gosh, they're horrible, racist, German supremacist, Nazis who just want to, they're expansionist, and they are using Jews for medical experiments, and gypsies and gays, and they're just mean to everybody, and they're fascist, and they're Nazis, and they're evil. But Netanyahu, my God, what he's doing is so evil. In short, he's trying to turn the Christians against Islam and trying to turn Islam against the Christians to create chaos, death, and destruction to further benefit the Greater Israel Project, to further justify more brutal treatment of real Jews, real Christians, and Muslims within places like the West Bank right now, where they're being brutalized, where like anybody, Americans that arrive there that are Christians, that don't come with the Zionists, but if you show up with the Palestinians, are there, you're going to have people with the traditional Jewish thing. They're going to be coming up to you and kicking you, slapping you, spitting on you, maybe attacking your vehicle, trying to kill you. I see lots of footage of that. We all know that happens. We all know who's doing it, and we know what's happening. Okay? There's double tap bombings of, they bomb people they know are foreigners or this and that, and then they wait for the rescue team to show up, and then they bomb them, and all this kind of is just horrible. Using animals to rape. This is Israel, okay? This is Israel now. This is the Likud party. This is the people that are claiming to be Jews. Now, real Jews on the planet right now, if you're a real Jew, your duty right now is to smash Likud. Your duty is to fight against, denounce. They're not real Jews. They're evil, okay? And so you have to denounce, fight against, smash, vote, move to Israel, replace the Likud party. If you're a real Jew, someone who practices, maintains the Torah, the books, the 5 books that Moses wrote, what I'm talking about? So you're a real human with a heart and a soul, and you're a beautiful human, and you're Jewish. And what you have to do now is denounce everything that's happening in your name. Unfortunately, all the rape with animals and the things that the Likud party is so doing with such glee and joy. And they do it with glee and joy. You can see it in the footage. They're not embarrassed. There's no shame. They're not holding back. There's nothing holding them back. They got all the weapons from the United States and all our money. We've been drained. America has been drained. A lot of our power, a lot of our money has been concentrated in the hands of people that pretend to be whatever, and they actually have an Israeli passport. And they're running our CDC, Walensky or whatever. What are you doing? What's going on? Why so many people with Israeli passports in positions of power in America? How many people in our Congress have Israeli passports? What is going on? If I went to war right now, just as it's in my family, whatever, I've got some history. But if I was to go to fight right now, see, I'm at the age now where I don't have to fight. I'm not going to be recruited in to fight for anybody, so I would choose. And if I was to go fight right now, the only enemy of the United States is Israel. So I would want to be deployed to get to actively fight Israel, right? That's the only thing that's justifiable and good right now. Bombing Iran for the Greater Israel Project is like super lame. That's idiotic and lame. And that's how we know Trump is just a nothing. He's actually a nothing at this point. All that time spent hyper-focused on Trump could have been spent organizing to unionize Amazon, or organizing against the capture of the United States by Israel, organizing to stop the draining of our economy on the behalf of Israel. Could have been spent so many different ways besides being hyper-focused on Trump and then speculating about who might have voted for Trump, right? So, in other words, just kind of looking out there at the working class and just kind of despising about half of them based on your speculation and what you heard on NPR that morning, right? So, that time, unfortunately, all the anti-fascist playbook on KALW, unfortunately, didn't ever touch the fascist. It covered what Trump does, and symbolic, everything about Trump, symbolic, that you're going to react to this distracto clown who's been put out there on purpose as a distracto clown. So they, KLW, just boom, spin its whole wad, the anti-fascist playbook. It's an ongoing series, but still can only talk about Trump, or people appointed by Trump, or people kind of close to Trump, centric, and it never can mention the CIA, or Israel, or the Likud party, or Raytheon, or Lockheed, or DynCorp, or SAIC, or Palantir. Can't mention Palantir. So if you can't mention Palantir right now and you're calling yourself anti-fascist, wow, man, you really missed the boat. That's really sad. So anyway, yeah, that's what Bibi Netanyahu is doing today, going on TV and saying how great it is to be a Christian in Israel, how nice the Likud party Zionist rapey people that are not real Jews, actually. They're not Jews. They're Israelis. So rapey Israeli Zionists, how nice they are to Christians, and how great it is to be a Christian in Israel right now, right? So many Christians have been killed. A lot of the people in southern Lebanon that Israel has targeted with just mass, just civilian killing with our money and weapons. Unfortunately, a lot of them are Christians. Those were Christians, a lot of them there. That's right. Yeah. So, but it's funny. People here in the United States that don't know what the hell they're talking about or know anything that's going on, you'll hear them talking that it's great to be that like Israel is a shining example of a democracy in the Middle East. There's people in America that actually say that actually go around and say that. Israel's a shining democracy. It's a child bombing, double tap, hospital killing Nazi fest. But it's okay to be gay in Tel Aviv, apparently. Tel Aviv's beautiful. So it's kind of like this thing's being set up in the Western world, where if you're poor, you're out there at the deadly fangs of a horrible expanding neo-imperialist project, something like the Greater Israel Project. You're out there at the deadly end of that, and you're just being subjected to starvation. They did that, starvation at the point of a gun. They had people under sniper control in areas and were watching them starve. Yeah, that's Israel. That's modern day Israel. So anyway, this is the kind of thing that's happened, and so that, yeah, if you're poor and you're at the end of the edges of the expanding empire, you're being bombed and killed, and all generations of your family are being raped, murdered, and tortured and killed on behalf of the Greater Israel Project. Right now, that's happening actively, super active right now, with lots of censorship still happening in the United States. The level of censorship that the Americans have been under since, I gotta say, COVID. Yep, I gotta say, since they made people walk around and say that ivermectin is just a horse dewormer, Americans are done. Americans are out of their mind. We no longer have a free press. We don't have anything that resembles anything close to a free press. When was the last time you saw a live shot from Tel Aviv? Like, if we know anything that's going on in Tel Aviv. I think Iran has pretty much tried to bomb the crap out of it, right? They'll just endure that for now until they can really genocide, destroy Iran completely. That's what they're thinking. And then they can have all their bio weapons labs and their little high-tech, beautiful, kind of capitalist-free zone for the super elites only in Tel Aviv and in Gaza. They're thinking of having like these little beautiful, perfect little super hyper-controlled, beautiful real estate zones. It's kind of like this Jared Kushner vision of the world, where like him and Ivanka are over there on the island that they took from the Albanians. A lot, should belong to nature and the world and everybody, this island. But Ivanka and Gerard, we just picture this beautiful future for ourselves on this island that doesn't belong to us. Yay! But that'll be connected to Tel Aviv and to the beautiful private in-holdings in Gaza after we just totally destroy, genocide everybody that's in Gaza now, and then build over their graves, a beautiful resort area. And then I guess if you are okay to work as a peasant slave in one of the resorts for Israel, you're free to do that. Or I guess you could hang around and wait till they grab you and harvest your organs or something like that. That's what's going to be happening for you if you're not one of them, right? If you're not one of them. So they're setting up a total religious ethno state, white supremacy, right? That is white supremacy, Jewish supremacy. We are the chosen people. We're better than everybody else. Everybody else is just goy slop. The goy slop's just kind of in our way. The goy, we can just kill the goy or enslave the goy or use them as organ meat or, whatever. But the goy is not to be treated as an equal to us because we're the chosen. We're the only chosen. We're special, beautiful people. And everybody else is actually to be despised. So grow yourself some nice little, Jewish-looking hairdo and get out there and just grab your stick, put some nails through it, and go out there and start beating grandmas with it. Because that's what you do if you're a modern-day Israeli Jewish person. Apparently, sadly. So the great thing is that most of the Jews in America, and a lot of them, are denouncing this. A lot of them, there's a Jewish Voice for Peace. Real people, scholars, people that work for a living, stuff like that, happen to be Jewish. A lot of them have a brain, a conscience, an awareness of things. And they are, and a moral compass, and they are denouncing this, right? They have morals. They're denouncing what Israel is doing. Jewish Voice for Peace. Look, great people, right? Awesome. Some of the best activists out there, But at the same time, we have a lot of people here in America who are part of the problem. The problem really is here in America. Miriam Adelson, the guy who owns the Oracle, Ellis, whatever his name is. I forget his name right now. The Oracle, him and his son, Dave. I'm tired. Okay, but anyway, a lot of these people, okay, they are affiliated with the Greater Israel Project. Peter Thiel, Palantir, a lot of our Unit 8200 is a division of Mossad or Israeli intelligence, Israeli Armed Forces, Unit 8200. There are hundreds of veterans from Unit 8200 working in our tech industry here in Silicon Valley. Not just Silicon Valley, but the tech industry here in America now. And a lot of that is ex-Israeli soldiers, ex-Israeli intelligence have now pretty much gotten in there, and they're occupying our companies, our social media platforms, our big monopoly tech platforms, right? So these monopoly tech platforms, the tech bros are now aligned with the CIA, with MI6, with Mossad, with Israel. So we have the tech bros, Israel, and defense lobbyists, and big finance. BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, all this kind of stuff. All these people, these are all now wed together, doing this thing. And the thing they're doing is mind humping all the working class people around the world while they continue to loot them. So they're just going to drain the last bits out of working class productive humans, and then they're going to figure out so they have detention centers, so they can use you as slave labor in the detention center, or harvest your organs, or just kill you. Those are kind of their plan. Let you just kind of turn into another desperate homeless person, kind of just fighting it out on the streets. Maybe what I'm thinking they're going to do is like install like a next level of flock cameras out there on the streets to kind of monitor the homeless people as they're killing each other, right? So they can get some good homeless fighting each other for the elites in their bunkers and on their super yachts to have some entertainment so they can watch poor people outside in these desperate zones, these zones of desperation that will be in because they're being led by people largely a lot like Benjamin Netanyahu, with the same kind of moral compass as Benjamin Netanyahu. So rape, torture, animals involved in rape. That's Netanyahu, right? That's Milikowski, this Polish man named Milikowski. Yay, pretending to be a super Jewish man named Benjamin Netanyahu, which has allowed him to have a really super powerful career. He kind of grew up here in the United States. He knows how to talk our lingo. He's the main sort of go-between sucking the money out of the United States to the Greater Israel Project and the hyper-racist Zionists that are destroying peace all over the world. So that's Netanyahu's job, is to do that, to drain America, to be kind of he flies over here, meets with our presidents, flies over here, gets standing ovations in our Congress while he's conducting a genocide. That shows you what a piece of crap our Congress is. That's just crap. That's just crap. There wasn't one person in that assembly who said, no, this is it. America is based on the Constitution. It's for America. It's not for a British king. It's not for an Israeli pig like you. You're not anything in this body. There's no legitimate reason for a genocidal pig like you to be addressing our body right now. Not one of my constituents said, I want to hear from Benjamin Netanyahu while the dog raping, torture, pig killing thing is going on right now. I don't want him anywhere near our Congress. I want him in jail. International Criminal Court for Netanyahu. Anyway, I can't believe I got to get off of this. It's just, oh my God. But, today made the speech about how just beautiful it is to be a Christian. Oh my gosh, the Israelis are just so nice to Christians. Well, you know what? Christians were Jews. They were real Jews. They were rebel Jews from Galilee. They were the kind that would have killed Roman sycophant pigs like you. They would have killed you. They wouldn't have killed you because they're Christians. They would have loved you, prayed for you. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm tired. I got to get off of this thing. I don't know how to wrap it up. But don't believe the lies. Don't believe the hype. Israel, the Greater Israel Project, is evil. But do not let that make you prejudiced against all Jews. There's a lot of real Jews out there. Someday the real Jews might unite and take back Israel. I'm hoping that they do. I would support that. I would go there. I would be a part of that. If real Jews were ready to unite and move and just kill this, we have to kill, purge, get the Likud party's got to go. Completely got to go. All the other super conservative Zionist Israelis, unfortunately, have to be purged because they've expressed that they have an ideology where they can't be made to get along with other humans. I'd say that also for extreme Islam. If you think you're the only thing on the block and you're better than everybody else and everyone else acts like you might not be able to fit into our society. You might not work in a multicultural, pluralistic democracy. A theocratic pig can't work in that. Theofascism doesn't go together with pluralistic democracy, which respects rights for all. They respect a right for you to be Islamic, but to be a peaceful Islamic who just does his own thing, doesn't bother anybody. You have that right. You totally have that right. You have the right to, you didn't see me. So you have the right to be a Christian and pray to God, pray to Jesus, do whatever you want, right? You might not have the right to put a Moses statue in a public school. That's idiotic. You might not have the right to tell other people what to do with their bodies and stuff like that. No, you don't. You don't have that right as a Christian. Just focus on you. It's you and your relationship with Jesus. Embrace that, love that, and shut up, right? Same with Islam, same with Judaism. If you're going around saying, oh, we're the chosen people, shut up. You're an idiot. God made and chose the whole world, right? So if you're thinking that you're special and you need to run this kind of state on your behalf, then we can't make it. We need to kill you. But if you can exist with others and you're okay to exist with others, that's fine. You can be a Buddhist, you can be Jewish, Christian, whatever. We're going to have a democracy where we all have right, same equal vote, right, everything. And then you can, have your own cultural influences within that culture. You can have your church and you can have your things that you do. That's all you. That's on you. That's not the government, right? Separation of church and state. Very important. Also, making every foreign agent register as a foreign agent before they get to lobby here. And maybe limiting the amount of dollars they get to lobby here. They don't get to just unlimited, just buy everybody if you're from Israel. You don't get to do that anymore. That's over. We're done with that. If it's somebody else trying to do it in the future, we don't want that. Britain, why do we want Britain buying everything? We don't want that anymore. We're done. It's America. America first. America for us, for everyone else that wants to share and be a part of our values and our thing here, which is respect for rights. That's prime, right? That's a thing. That's prime. That's what's prime. Respect for rights. If you have that, you're in America, you fit here, you're good, you respect my right to pray the way I want to, then fine, we can get along, we're fine. I don't care if you're Buddhist, Muslim, Hindu, Sikh, I don't care what you are. Good for you, I bless you. I bless you. I want you to have the best situation you can. If you want to hear about my God, I'll tell you. I'll pray with you. I'll pray with you. All right. Well, be blessed out there. We're at a really dangerous... I've never felt more like things are crazier. I don't even mention Moscow and Ukraine anymore. It seems almost kind of pointless. Like, that was set up so long ago. It's so ridiculous. And what the people say about Putin in our media, and that you never hear samples of Putin in our media. See, this censorship, that's the thing that's also just making me so nervous. That's why I hated the pandemic. That's why you should have hated it too. Even if you just love Dr. Fauci and you think you just want to get 25 boosters in every 5 seconds, that's great. If you're one of those people, that's fine. I don't care. But you should have noticed the censorship. When the Bakersfield doctors were completely removed and you couldn't find them on any platform anymore, that should have alarmed you. Whether you agreed with them or not, that should have been alarming. The level of censorship. When you found out, Twitter files, when you found out from Matt Taibbi, and what was his name, Mike something, when you found out from those two really good journalists, whatever, that the FBI was actively colluding with Twitter to determine who get visibility filtered and who doesn't via a server called the Jira Cloud server, okay? They were dropping files for, say, hey, check this out. Okay, no, yeah, suppress that. Yeah, that goes away. Right, so the FBI was making things go away. And now we know, looking back, because of what we're doing, what's happening with Anthony Bourla and Pfizer and all these other things, that Pfizer was directing the content on Twitter to some extent. So we can't have this anymore. We can't have next pandemic, next thing, whatever. If they want you to take a COVID vaccine, they got to make their case. They got to say, here's the vaccine. It's got guarantees. The person who made it is going to still be liable. It doesn't have nanolipids. It's not a spike protein inducing nightmare. It's a simple attenuated whole virus vaccine. It should help you fight this thing that's going around, that we've made go around. That we're making it go around. Because they make so many mistakes and hype people up in fear. When there's fear and confusion, then there's no clarity about measles or anything. All right, I gotta get off this because I won't be able to publish it if I stay much longer. All right, I hope you guys are doing great, and just have a great night, and keep your eyes open, stay aware, don't believe the lies, don't believe the hype, have some judgment, some scrutiny, be empowered. If you're empowered, you're not gonna believe what some genocidal pig is telling you, or what some leftover flake from the failing AIDS project who's making millions of dollars off of us is telling you, a known liar, right? You won't believe the liar anymore. It won't won't be a partisan, beautiful thing to believe Dr. Fauci anymore. That won't be good or beautiful. It'll be dumb to believe Dr. Fauci, right? Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever you are, that shouldn't matter. Just you are a citizen of the United States. He's a lying piece of shit. Grifter. He's a lying grifter. He's a medical grifter pretending to represent all of science, and one that's shown he's willing to kill people, willing to let people die based on the fake information that he pumps out there. He's shown that. He's done it. And you don't have any awareness of him somehow if you're kind of left-leaning right now. You maybe like him still liking Fauci, still believing that Putin is a bigger influence on America than Netanyahu. If you're believing either of those things, wow, you're gone. There's no talking to you. You're done. You're done. You're gone. But the rest of you have some scrutiny, right? Putin is just another political player. Netanyahu is much more influential in America than Putin has ever been. And if you don't know that, then please wake up. Do some research. Answer that question for yourself before you go around sounding like an idiot much longer. Okay? Talking about Trump as a bitch of Putin. If you're still saying that, you're an idiot. All right, anyway, let's rock out. Have a good